If you're looking to get the latest updates from Microsoft 365, but don't want to spend hours sifting through the 100 or so announcements like me, stay tuned because in this episode I'm going to be covering all the latest updates, changes, and enhancements that you don't want to miss. Okay guys, so diving in, just a quick reminder, I do supplement this video with a blog post in the video description with more helpful information about all these announcements, so be sure to check that out after you're done watching this video. Getting into it here, we're going to start off with Microsoft Teams as we usually do here. This first one is related to this quick share for image. So now when you share image files in a Teams chat, whether that's in a group or Teams channel or individual user, you'll be able to reshare it out into a one-on-one or group chat here. Timelines on this one is mid-June and be complete by late June. Next one is enhancing the search experience for cloud files in the file attach picker. So previously, if you were going to attach a file, you immediately have to go into your file explorer as an example and then choose files from there. Whereas here, you're going to have a heightened search experience that you'll be able to do right from within the chat to just speed up that time it takes to attach files. Timelines on this one's mid-June and be complete by late June. Next one here, some more UI updates that are coming later this year. This is a refreshed in-meeting experience with simpler controls and a simpler share panel. You can see that in the screenshots here that I'm sharing, and part of that is for some of those quick actions like you would do to record a meeting or some of the common apps you would leverage. And then the other is a new, more updated experience for that sharing of your screen and what that would look like. Timelines on this one's early October and be complete by late November. Next one here is also related to files and specifically for downloading files in Teams. Previously here, this would show up in the right-hand corner of Teams. Now they're going to be giving you a toast notification that will go ahead and notify and automatically dismiss after 4 seconds and giving you some more ease of access to go access those files after the fact. Timelines on this one's mid-June and be complete by late June. Next one here for Teams is if you're using Copilot or Teams Premium for some of the intelligent recaps or Copilot or facilitator agent that you would have as part of that. And this is allowing you to disable or toggle them on or off as part of that meeting experience. Timelines on this one's mid-June and be complete by the end of June. Next one here I think is a great update here if you've ever experienced this when you're trying to upload maybe a heavier file into Teams, and while that file upload is in progress, you're not able to go ahead and keep chatting or type your full message as part of that till that's done attaching as part of this. So this will allow users to do that asynchronously in the background, and you can continue to do both at the same time. So late June on this one and be complete by late June, so around the same time frame there. Next two here are related to security within Teams. So this first one's reporting external users for security concerns. You can see that here in the screenshot. You have that tick box here to report this person. That'll show up in the Teams Admin Center. We'll show that here next where you'll be able to see that. Timelines on this one's mid-June, be complete by late June. And then the security detection report in the Teams Admin Center here, you can see that in the screenshot, it's going to be under Analytics and Reports and then Protection Reports. This is also where you would see those user reported signals, but additionally you can see signs such as impersonation, malicious URLs, and weaponized file types. Timelines on this one is late June and be complete by late June, so roughly that same time frame. Guys, if you're manually performing Microsoft security assessments and manually performing the remediation that comes along with it, definitely check out a tool that I built called CloudCapsule. We perform a rapid scan of a Microsoft 365 tenant. It takes about 60 seconds to actually run and pull back over 200 data points that span Entra, Exchange, Teams, Defender, Purview, and more. Within the baseline section, we map to various compliance standards like CIS and NIST. And now we've introduced remediation capabilities so that within this context, you can actually push and deploy policies directly from within our portal. So in this particular case, we can actually push out a legacy authentication policy. We can actually choose the assignments that we have within this context to be able to deploy and get this into a passing state. We also have this concept of quick fixes for more of your standard low to no end user impact considerations that you can quickly deploy into tenants. And I can click on this button here and can see the end user impact immediately before I make that change and the setting that I'm going to apply as well. We also have this library section now as well too, where you have packages you can then deploy to your downstream customer environments. This might be workload activation in Microsoft, such as Defender for Business. If I click in here, I'll have all the policies I need to deploy to my customer environment. We also have packages like the Intune benchmark for Windows 11 from CIS. Finally, you can go in here and you can actually import policies that you would have as templates from any one of your downstream tenants. You don't need this concept of a golden tenant or anything like that. We'll actually source these and strip them down so they're templatized for you to be able to use. And within here, I can actually select any one of these policies that I want to import
and it will go in and actually strip those tenant specific values. But remember any naming conventions I have for assignments to intelligently deploy them into my downstream tenants. So once this is done here, I can click on this import button. We have the same end user impact considerations, and now we also include those target group assignments that you could have and use as standard naming conventions for your downstream tenants. And when you go to deploy it to a different tenant, we actually will try to find and source those within that environment as well too for your assignments. So if this looks interesting and you want to give it a test drive, definitely head over to cloudcapsule.io and book a demo with us today.
Diving into Outlook here, this first one is related to just inbox rules and being able to have this external email tag that you could now use for some rule conditions. This is if you have this external in Outlook feature enabled. I've done previous videos on that, but I'll link more information about that in my blog post that'll supplement this. But it's basically allowing you to create rules around, those external messages coming in that you may want to route accordingly. Timelines on this one's early June and be complete by late June. Shifting into 365 apps here, this first one's related to SharePoint Online, is from the Message Center title, but it's really related to OneDrive for Business, which is, again, underlying that whole ecosystem is SharePoint. So this is basically saying that we have this storage quota enforcement updated with licensing limits. Previously, if you had certain storage quotas and you were on a certain level of licensing with a certain level of storage and you exceeded that, nothing would really happen. You get warnings and things like that. But now as you move forward and you exceed the license quota, the entire OneDrive for a user would be placed into a read-only state, which restricts access into the SharePoint content until that storage usage is remediated. So I put steps in my blog how you could resolve that. Obviously, you could buy more storage, you could upgrade their licensing, or you could just clean up what's in there, much like we do for mailboxes today. But I think it's important to note for admins out there who manage this for your customers. Timelines on this one's late May and be complete by June of 2026. Next one here is for co-authoring in Microsoft Word. I think this is somewhat chaotic in certain senses. I don't do much co-authoring myself, but this is about allowing you to have users collaborate on the same paragraph at the same time. I don't know how that would exactly work, in the sense of that being productive. But it is, getting you into this restriction that exists today that, users can't simultaneously do that. So this will happen mid-May and be complete by early June. Last one here for the Microsoft 365 apps is related to PowerPoint, and this is if you're sharing your screen for PowerPoint Live. This is allowing presenters to be able to refresh their presentation if you made changes right from being live and not necessarily having to stop and restart the presentation. Timelines on this one's early June and be complete by mid-June. Shifting into Microsoft Entra here, this is a security upgrade for your app registrations that you would have in Microsoft Entra. This is certain settings related to authentication and this app instance property lock. We'll go into full detail there. I'll have more information in my blog, but effectively it's a way for you to go ahead and lock default sensitive properties on the application so they can't be either maliciously or accidentally tampered with. Timelines on this one's early June and be complete late June. Shifting into Copilot here, a lot of different updates obviously coming from Microsoft around Copilot. Cowork is something that I brought up last week on the call as being in early access in this Frontier program. That's what Frontier means if you're new to that. But this is integrating other plugins and connectors and third-party tools so that you can access this, over that layer securely without needing to go into any outside sources. These are the ones that they have today. Most popular probably was Monday or Miro in our space at least. And then they have some coming here for Atlassian, with Jira, Box, Adobe. So those are some common ones there too that you might want to start looking at for integration. Next here is also introducing some more image models, such as Flux 2, Flex Model in PowerPoint. I bring this one up not so much for Flux 2, but because you're able to go ahead and use these image models when you're going and creating PowerPoint presentations, just so there's awareness there if you do have that Copilot license. Timelines on this one's late April and be complete by early May, so it should be available by the time you're watching this video. Next one here is for authoritative sites in SharePoint for Microsoft Copilot. This is giving users the ability to designate specific sites as trusted sources of org information and see that tag that gets applied when you do mark those as part of the search capabilities within Copilot when a user is actually looking for something here. And this is hopefully, as you guys narrow down, what's working in the organization, giving them more trusted sources, but improving the content reliability. Timelines on this one's mid-June and be complete by late June.
Next couple here are related to skills in Copilot, and skills is something that's been, a broader AI topic, largely popularized by Anthropic and Claude. Something that's in Copilot Cowork today, but something that you can use here that can do a specific task effectively within a certain application, in this case PowerPoint. This first one is related to visualizing this slide, and this is helping users analyze the slides and turn a lot of heavy text related slides into these polished, more professional visuals that you could see here. Don't know how well that works just yet. I haven't actually tried it myself. But timelines on this one is mid-May and be complete by mid-May. So around the same time frame there. By the time you're watching this, should be out for your environment if you do have Copilot. Another skill here that's related is, prepare for questions. This is another one here for analyzing your files to potentially identify weak points and anticipate audience questions to help the storytelling elements of this. So as you can see, these skills are allowing you to, quickly just have something to reference and not necessarily need to always go into a PowerPoint presentation and retype this prompt that says, help me identify, what questions might come up from this presentation, right? Timelines on this one's late May and be complete by late May, so that same time frame there as the previous announcement. And then the very last section here is the admin section. The only announcement I have is related to Defender for Office 365 and ZAP protection. Zero-hour auto purge is something that's really powerful from a security perspective that can zap emails out of users' inboxes after they are scanned as malicious or reported as malicious from other users in the organization. And this is now extending into the deleted items folder where users could potentially still be able to access that and have that protection now within that folder. Timelines on this one's early June and be complete by late July.
Okay guys, that's everything I had for you today. Definitely comment below with any of the features you're most excited about. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week.